for mere mortals.
Microjig, maker of the gripper. Work safer, work smarter.
I want to thank Peter Lindstrom in Sweden for this great springtime project idea. His hose hanger is a little bit different. I've modified mine to hold a 50-foot hose, and you can find free plans down in the description. And this may be a good opportunity for you to try out some router techniques that may be new to you. I'm squaring up these 2x4s just by shaving a little off of each side. And that'll give me a much straighter, flatter surface to glue these together. To make the circle cutting jig for my router, I need to replace the base with this 1/2-inch plywood. And I'll trace out these mounting holes. And these need to be countersunk. And here's my panel all glued up and sanded smooth. I'm gonna mark the center point. Looks like I can make the radius of my outer circle about 8 inches. The router will drop into the center of this hole and cut right along that edge. And I can mark it right there. I'm gonna drill a 1/4-inch hole at that point. And I'm gonna drill a 1/4-inch hole all the way through my workpiece, trying to keep it as straight as possible. So I'll use a 1/4-inch dowel as the pivot. The next circle is going to be the dado, and that's an 8-inch diameter, so I'll make a 4-inch radius. I'm gonna hold this workpiece in place with a few screws in the corners. And I'll install my new base plate. And I'll install a straight bit into my router. I'm gonna start by routing out this inner circle, so I'll stick a dowel in this hole. I'll just continue to make a series of shallow cuts, lowering the router bit each pass. I want to get this to about half the depth of the board. Now I can move this pin over to the other hole to cut out the outer circle. I'm not going to cut all the way through this. I want to leave a flat side, which will make it easier to cut this in half. I'll cut out the remainder of this outer circle close to the actual edge, not all the way. To smooth out this round surface, I'm going to use a flush trim bit on my router table. This bearing will ride along this curved surface I cut earlier and even up this part that I cut on the bandsaw. I'm cutting this 1x4 into 5.5-inch long pieces. You just want to make sure that these fit really tightly into these dados. But before I put those in, I'm going to round over these edges. And with those pieces sanded down, now I can glue it all together. I'm gonna be pretty generous with this glue. I don't want these coming apart. This part might be a little tricky. Well, that was tricky. I've already got a place planned for this hose, which is desperately needed right around back of my shop where, well, right now my hose is all over the ground. So it's gonna go right over here. And just when you were thinking it couldn't possibly get any better than this, I went out and treated myself to a brand new 50-foot hose. I'm kind of thinking this may very well be the best day of my life. And once again, I'd like to thank Peter Lindstrom for his great springtime project idea. And I'd like to thank all of you for watching Woodworking for Mere Mortals. If you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. I post brand new, easy woodworking projects every Friday. And don't forget to check out my new midweek feature, Mere Minis, where I feature a short video about a woodworking technique or even a short project. And I'd like to remind you to post any questions you have for me over on Twitter using hashtag AskMimo. And I may use one of your questions in my other program on Mere Minutes called Ask Mimo. What 5 tools would I have if I was stranded on an island? Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next Friday. Did you ever notice you never see pallet wood anywhere near Miley Cyrus?